You're thinking about purchasing a green car, but you are not willing to give up all the goodies that come with a regular vehicle. I'll show you one that will meet your needs. Stay right with us. Hi, I'm Lauren Fix. Welcome to Car Coach Reports. A lot of people are talking about buying a green vehicle. However, they don't want to give up all the goodies. They want to have all the navigation. They want the electronics. They want those safety features. And a lot of times people feel that they're giving up something in order to purchase a hybrid vehicle. Well, this is the 2019 Hyundai Ioniq. This is a hybrid and it's the SEL trim level. And I think once you see what it offers, you're not going to want to settle for a lower trim level because this vehicle has everything that any normal vehicle would have. Plus, it gets killer fuel economy, over 50 miles to the gallon, and it's very reasonable to drive, and it has all the safety features and the technology. Let's go for a ride. The first thing you do when you get into any vehicle is you figure out the seating comfort. It's a little bit of a flat seat. I think as my co-host on the His Turn, Her Turn show would say, it's a little pewish. In other words, it's kind of flat. There is lumbar on the driver's side, not on the passenger side, which is good if you're the driver, not so good if you're the passenger, so it does not pass my lumbar test. However, remember this vehicle is coming in that low 20,000 range, and there's tons of incentives, plus you're getting tax credits in many states, so make sure to look into all those. Don't leave any money on the table. As far as visibility is concerned, overall, excellent visibility. The only thing that might be weird to you, that you'll get used to because like any car, the more you drive it, the more comfortable you get with it, is the wing that's across the back there. That makes it look cooler on the outside, but if you're not used to it, it sort of reminds me of, I hate to say this, a Pontiac Aztec back end. Sorry. There is no sunroof in the SEL model. Remember, glass is heavier than metal, or aluminum in many cases, different materials and alloys that they're using. So I think the goal in this was to keep this vehicle light, and the reason that you want this vehicle light is because fuel economy. It's all about fuel economy. And there's really impressive numbers here. The average fuel economy, both city and highway, is 55 miles to the gallon, which is really impressive. Those are huge numbers. It's not a plug-in. It's not an EV. It's a hybrid. When you think of hybrids, you typically think of cars that are uninspiring. But Hyundai had the Kona, which was the SUV of the year for North America. And the Ioniq has very much a similar type of style. It has the same storage pretty much. It has good comfort, not great comfort, good comfort, but it is different than the SUV. Performance wise, I had to put it in sport mode to give it some get up and go. If you really don't want the get up and go, you'll get your best fuel economy in the regular drive mode, which is your eco mode, and you just slide that prindle over to the right. You slide it to the left, and you get a little bit more get up and go. Of course, it will use more fuel economy, and it will impact your final numbers per tank. Overall, steering wheel is nice. I'm really a fan of the flat bottom wheel. If you're a larger person or you have disability or you just need that extra space for whatever reason, the flat bottom wheel I think just makes it more comfortable. I don't know why. It should be almost a standard at this point. Everything's easy to use. If you've ever been inside of a Hyundai before, you know that it's pretty simple. And that's good, because if it's not intuitive, you won't want to use this technology. And a lot of this technology is there to make your vehicle safer, whether it be cruise control, your volume control, going through the different screens in front of you, what you want, information you want, whether you want the system on or off, the driver assistances, which are optional but worth it. So I would suggest if you're going to buy an Ioniq, really take a good look at the SEL trim level. I think it's the best choice. One thing that I do find amusing, it seems to be the trend these days, is paddle shifters. I don't know why you would want paddle shifters on a hybrid, because people that are driving these vehicles are driving them for fuel efficiency, and that means you want to get the best you can, and the automatic in this case will give you the best fuel efficiency because it's designed that way. There's a stalk on each side. The one on the left is obviously going to be your turn signals, but it's also your headlights. On the right is going to be your wiper blades. Really easy to use, very intuitive, and when you're looking at a vehicle in this price point, and this vehicle is coming in about $25,000, you're not going to expect to have German type of premium luxury options. So you have to work with what you've got. So when you're looking at the materials overall, they feel to me to be recycled materials. That's not necessarily bad, but if you're looking for that eco green friendly, you're going to love this interior. Don't believe that there's anything animal related here, so I guess you would call that a vegan interior, which I find a strange. It's more food, not necessarily cars. The reason you want a hybrid vehicle is where I am right now, stuck in rush hour traffic. So it makes a lot of sense why everyone around me is burning fuel. I'm not. I'm in a hybrid. I'm in electric mode, and it's just keeping the air conditioning going. Everything's going just fine. On the left side, just below the vent, you've got your adjustment for your brightness, your blind spot detection, you get your lane departure warning. I'm not a fan of it. I try them on every vehicle. I have not found one other than one premium vehicle where I was okay with it. But for the most part, it can be very intrusive, and you have to get used to it. If you don't like it, shut it off. What's really interesting is typically when you're thinking about a hybrid car, that they're going to strip the vehicle down. There's not going to be any goodies. There's power windows and power door locks and power mirrors, because Hyundai knows that's what you want, and so that's what they're producing. Going to the center stack, you've got a reasonably sized screen. It's not gargantuan. It doesn't have to be, but this is what a lot of people want, is the bigger screens. And of course, you've got navigation in this particular trim level. You do get that in the SEL trim level. With the center screen, it has what you need. It doesn't have to be big. I prefer a bigger screen, but it doesn't have to be. And this is something that if I had to live with it, it's not a problem at all. I have vehicles that have smaller screens than this, and it doesn't make a difference. It depends what you're driving, and it depends what you want. However, the screen does have information on your driving, and it tells you if you're being fuel efficient. And a lot of times people want to make that into a little contest with themselves or the people that drive the vehicle to see who could be more fuel efficient, which is kind of fun too. Kind of keeps you in check and keeps your budget in check as well. Directly below the center screen is your radio controls as well as your apps. Now you can download apps, especially because Hyundai wants you to be able to use the apps that you want, whether that's an audio system or maybe it's Waze or whatever it is, the app that you want. You can plug that in. Of course, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, and this is pretty standard, I would think, these days. And if it isn't, it should be. Just below all the radio controls is your climate control. Big area, tons of information, dual climate control, and that's what really makes the SEL nice, because it's about passengers and about safety, and you're going to get all that when you purchase a higher trim level. Remember, there are incentives, so don't forget to ask for them. If you're leaving from one brand to another, it's a conquest discount. If you're loyal to the Hyundai brand, it's a loyalty discount. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it. It's not going to be thousands of dollars at this price point, but it could be hundreds of dollars, and that's the difference between you making that payment and not, or purchasing that vehicle or looking at something else. Just below the climate control are two 12-volt outlets, a USB, and a nice tray. There is no wireless charging. Further back, you've got dual heated seats that are 3-stage, which is really a nice touch, especially if you live in the cold climates. And then you've got your Prindle in the middle. Further back, you've got a D-shaped cup holder, which is good for those larger bottles of water that I love to carry around, and a regular size cup holder and a very small glove box. When you sit in the back seat on the Ioniq, you'll find it to be a bit tight. So if you've got children back there, or you're going on a short distance with adults, you'll probably be fine. I don't know if I'd like to sit in the back seat for a long road trip if I was tall. That probably wouldn't be very comfortable. But as far as storage overall, there's lots of flexibility. A 60-40 split rear seat. You can put one seat down, both seats down. You've got tons of storage, and underneath that back panel, lifted up, there's no spare tire, because these are low rolling resistant run flat tires, which means the interior is louder, but there's more storage. The overall looks of the Hyundai Ioniq, I think, is really nice looking, especially in this white vehicle that we have right now. I'm really a fan of this pearly white. There's a lot of colors to select from. Not too many interior choices. You're not going to find leather interiors and bright, intense colors, because that's not what this vehicle is about. It's about being green. It's about being light. And it's about being environmentally friendly. And if that's what you're looking for and you want a high value vehicle, this certainly will meet that. I will tell you, it is loud inside because of the low rolling resistant tires. The windows are up, and I can still hear the wind blowing through the windows. They can only do so much to insulate the glass. If they insulate it more to make it quieter, then it's going to be heavier, which means it's fuel efficiency. I think you're getting the whole message all the way around. As far as performance-wise, meh. As my mother would say, meh, which basically means on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it like a 5 on acceleration. In sport mode, it's not bad, maybe a 6. As far as brakes, they're not specific. I want to step on the brakes and know I'm on the brakes with a firm pedal. I'm getting kind of a softer pedal. Everything seems to be softer. The ride, the acceleration, everything about this is not specific. It's not delineated, shall I say. It really needs to be more specific to me. Now, you may like that, but just know that when you go to test drive this vehicle or the competition, these are things you need to know about. Braking, handling, performance. This is what you live with every single day. And if you're not happy with it, that could be a problem. If I didn't cover anything that you want to know about the Hyundai Ioniq, just write the comment down below. I will answer your question personally. We drive a lot of vehicles. We've driven all the competition, and the best thing to do is to go drive all the competition before you make any final decisions. Like I said, my pros and cons are down below. All my social media links are there as well. If you want to see what else we've uploaded, we've done a lot of cool vehicles of all shapes, forms, and prices. They're over here on the right. You can also subscribe. Social media and links are down below, and we'll see you next time.